Hey everybody, welcome to my tutorial on how to get faster on the Rubik's Cube. In this video I'm going to show you this method called F2L, which means first two layers, OLL, which is orientation of last layer, and then PLL, which is permutation of last layer. Now this video is for intermediate cubers. For beginner cubers, you definitely want to check out my beginner video, which I made, to get you standardized. But if you're looking for a way to increase your time, so you should be getting with the beginner method somewhere around 2 to 5 minutes, somewhere in that range. This method right here can get you below 2 minutes and as fast as 40 seconds, around there. So this is the intermediate cube tutorial. So sit back and listen for a little bit because I'm going to have a bit of explaining to do before we get started. In my first tutorial, when I said front or up or down, I used a C or a CC to say clockwise or counterclockwise, right? In this tutorial, and this is the way you'll see it written on other websites too, if it's clockwise, you'll just see the letter U. And if you turn it counterclockwise, it'll be a U with an apostrophe. And that goes for the other faces as well. So F would just be front clockwise, F with an apostrophe would be front counterclockwise. Or from now on, we could call it front or front inverted. Okay, so hopefully you're familiar with that. So in the beginner's method, we made a white cross and made sure that our centers were lined up. Now after we had done this, then we inserted the white corners and made our first layer. Now if you watch my video, you're going to be familiar with me saying move the pieces out of the way. So basically we can't bring this up, so we have to move the piece out of the way and then bring it up and back. But what really this is doing is just, you can just do it a lot simpler, and I'm sure you figured this out. Just move a layer like this, and then move a piece like that, and so on and so forth. But there actually is another way to insert a corner. If you have the corner, for example like this, you can bring the other layer up now, and rotate the top layer like that and bring it back in. So see, there's two ways. We can insert this corner into here by doing it like that, or doing it like that. So I'm going to show you what each of these actually is doing. When you do the first way, so for example, you move it up like that, then like this, and like that, you're actually bringing in an edge piece with it, because you notice that there's yellow and red right there, and then after we finish, wow, there's green and orange. So it's brought another one as we do that. Which one does it bring though? Well, if we look and see where's green and orange, it's back here. Now this makes sense because as we rotate it like this, the corner piece comes from being here and lines up with the green and orange piece right there. It connects with it. And as we rotate it, the two are still together. And as we move it back in, the two are still together. So if I undo that, you can see whichever piece is right here is always going to be brought in with the corner piece if it's facing that way. Now if it's facing the other way, so I have to do the opposite, so like this, it's basically this piece right here instead, because as we're turning this face, these two pieces join up, and then as we bring it like this, it's still together, and now we bring it down. So that's the first way. The second way we can bring a piece in is by moving the piece basically to whichever side. You don't even need to know this for now. But basically what we're doing is we're opening the slot for the piece to be brought in and then going like this. So it's just a little bit different way of bringing it in. But for this way, see that these two pieces are joined up. And when I bring it up like that, rotate it, they're still together. And I bring it in. So you'll be more familiar with this a little later on. So F2L, instead of just bringing the corner in, we're going to bring a corner and an edge in at the same time. So we call these pairs, and there's 4 pairs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. And it's going to take a little work to kind of, I don't know, memorize a little bit of what to do in F2L, but after you start to get it, it's really simple. And you can look around and immediately know what to do. And it's so much faster. You don't even need to know any algorithms for this. So the first case is probably the easiest. We already have a pair in the top layer. Wow, that doesn't really happen that often. So normally what we would do with the corner is we would bring it in like that. Well, of course, that's not right because we're splitting this pair up. We want this pair to go down in like that. So the easiest way to do that, and if you have a pair, is to line the centers up, to misalign the centers. So don't align orange up with orange, align orange up with green. And then you can lift this center up like this, and you can just bring the pair in. It's really easy. So once again, you have to bring this pair in here. You're just lifting it up, joining it, and bringing it back. So that's a pretty easy case. And the next easiest case, so we know now that when we bring a corner piece in using this way, like such, that it's going to bring this edge piece in with it. But how do we get the blue and red to come in? Well, this is the case that's going to work perfectly. You can see as we turn it like this, whatever sticker's on the top right there, that's going to join up with the back. So if we have the blue and red in this spot, and we bring it like this, you can see they've now connected, and as we rotate it back, they're still in the pair, and they've been in the pairs. So that's what you want to do for the other case of F2L. It's where the pieces are across from each other, and you want to have this sticker basically so when it turns it's going to be with this sticker. So if it were like this, where this red sticker is going to line up with the blue sticker, so I'll go like this. If I turn it, they're going to be misaligned. You want the red sticker right here and the blue sticker right here. So whichever sticker is right here, it's going to move to the back. So it's pretty easy concept. But how do we move edge pieces around when they're not either aligned like that or across from each other and in the right order? You know, how do we do that? Well, we do something really clever. We basically use an empty slot, so a slot that has nothing in it. We're going to sacrifice that slot to move pieces around in the top layer. So the only way that we're going to be able to bring this edge piece anywhere else is rotating this top layer, right? But with the corner in there, we can't rotate it because they're both just going to stay in the same spots. So we have to bring one of the two down. So what I mean is we can move this down, right? And then now we can swivel this around without affecting the other corner. But where can we move it down without affecting anything else? So when we move a corner piece down, we can either move it one of two ways, like this, where white's going to be on the bottom, or like this, where white's going to be on one of the sides. Now for F2L, you're always going to move it so white's on the side. Basically never move it so white's on the bottom, and you'll see why later. Okay, so when you move a corner down, it's going to bring a slot up. So if I have a corner, let's say in a random part of the cube, and I move it down so white's on its side, Do you see how it's brought up this slot? Like that. Now this slot's up here. So I'll just do it from this angle. When I bring it down, this slot's now up here. So it'll take away the slot that's on the same face as it, but like opposite the piece. So if I have it over here and I try to bring it down, it's going to take this one out, right? Kind of see how that works? So what we want to do is put it in a spot where it's not going to affect any solved slots. So we see that this slot right here is empty. So if we bring it down like that, we're not going to affect any slots, and all we're doing is bringing up an empty slot. So we brought it down. Now what? Well, we're free to do anything with the top layer. We can rotate it any which way. So we know that the blue and red piece is right here. Well, just think, if I bring this piece, I have to bring it back up. So if I position the blue and red piece right here, sorry about the light here, if I bring it back up, you see how it's connected? Well, that's what we actually have done. We've connected an F2L pair. I brought it down, and this empty slot doesn't matter. I've rotated the top layer so that when I bring the corner back up, it's going to align. Now, all we have to do is rotate our cube so we can do our little insert. We can bring this up, bring it over, and bring it in. And I'll show you the next case. So I see the red, green, and white piece right here, and then I see the red and green edge piece right here. So obviously those two go together. But what's a little bit different for this case is that, so I find an empty slot, right? I find this slot right here. So I know I can turn it down and bring that empty slot up. So now I can rotate this layer freely, right? But like I did with the last one, if I position it right here and I bring it up, well, they're misaligned. Do you remember the other corner case we talked about, where the pieces can be across from each other, and that's how we insert it? Well, watch this. We know that when red's right here, we have to have a red sticker on the back, right? To solve it. So if I bring it down using this empty slot, if I bring the corner piece down, I can actually take this, since red's on the back, and bring it right here. So when I bring this piece back up, now it's actually set up so I can insert it. You see that? So when I bring it like that, it's going to connect. So now I can just like that. Awesome. Those are the two basic cases where you have the corner piece and the edge piece on the same top layer, right? And white is on one of the sides, and the edge piece is also up there. So that's really simple. But you're gonna get some more complex cases. So for example, a case like this where you can see the green and orange pair is aligned, but it's like upside down, lined up right here. So that's a weird case. Or something like this where the white, blue, and orange corner and the orange and blue edge piece, so those belong together. They're white's on the top and this is right here, so you get some pretty weird ones like that. I'll try to go over most of the cases, so you're just gonna have to kind of watch for your case throughout this video. Actually, I would watch all of these cases because they're all gonna show up sometime or another. So I'll start off.